new weekly vlog. This week is going to be quite uh, full in a way. There's work, obviously. I have decided that I will also work on a new diorama, kind of building some sort of coffee shop, library, witchcraft room, and stuff like that inside of a lantern. I still have to get the lantern though. But that will be on Wednesday. I think I'm going to start on Wednesday because today is Monday and there is the course. Because I still obviously don't know how to pronounce it and I didn't make my research. And it's kind of a stress. We're going to just discuss and catch up, that being said. Because I've been there, well, for 2 Mondays in a row now. The first week I was with the bass, which was so amazing. Like, just the moment I went there, there was a guy there who, well, he is in the band, in the chorus for like a few years now, or 3 years, I think, in a row. He welcomed me so warming. The welcome was so warming and so, I don't know, it was just so cool. He literally just told me that there is a WhatsApp group for the bass, and this is gonna be so cool because there is now 6 people in the bass group, and this is so fun. And everything was going kind of fun. They were like super nice, and it was so cool. By the end of the rehearsal, the chorus masters told me that he wanted to try me in the tenors, which is kind of a higher note. And I thought, well, why not? You know, I have no knowledge whatsoever, so let's try that. So I did try last Monday the tenors, and let's say the mood was definitely not the same. I basically just arrive and say, hi, I'm Elias, and he asked me to just try the tenors. And the guy was like, there were two guys, and one of them were like, you're a tenors, you sure? Well, we'll see about that. And I was like, dude, you're a singer, you're not the casting director or whatever. And the mood was just so weird. So I don't know tonight where I'm gonna go because I feel comfortable in both positions. And this is something that I really hate about life and how I decided to live it, meaning that every time that there is a choice, I ended up not being able to choose any of it. Like, we have a saying in France that choosing is renouncing, and it's really hard to renounce anything. But I'm like, I want both. I would love to be able to kind of go to the bass and then switch to the tenors the same way that it happened for my entire life. Like, for example, when you were a hairstylist, you have to choose between doing the haircut or the color. I decided to do both. There is also in the doll world, like, you want to be 1/6 or 1/12, you want to be a doll or an action figure. And it's always that kind of situation when I'm like, I don't want to choose. I like both. So why do I have to pick one of them? And I don't know. We will see about that because at the end of the day, it's not up to my decision. It's the course master who will decide where I'm going to go. So we'll see about that. That being said, this week there's also something else, which is the registration for the service exam that I want to apply to, because as you have probably seen on the previous vlog, I decided to kind of switch my career and stop being a hairdresser. And I wanted to just get my degree first before heading to this civil exam. And I figured out that there is actually the position that I'm wanting, the job that I want is open on, the application is open on Thursday. So I thought, why don't you just give it a shot? You know, you don't know, maybe you could have it or maybe you don't, but in case you don't have it, at least you know how it's working and what's the skills or, you know, exam, what it is about. So The registration is on Thursday, so this is gonna be like a nice week, like an emotional elevator that goes up and down. I don't know. Well, today is gonna be the course, which I will finally know if I'm on the tenor or on the bass. Wednesday, I will go to find the lantern of the for the miniature doll dioramas that I'm working on, and Thursday is gonna be the registration, which is kind of hard word to say. That being said, and we will hope the week will be peaceful, even though I kind of survived in a way my first doll drama. Because I've been like putting in a situation when someone came at me and was like, that I discussed him and that he is mad about me and for whatever reason. And the fact that he basically just was complaining about other ones that have been complaining, those others that I've been talking to and that I'm being friend with. It was such a weird day. Last week it happened. It was just so weird, but in a way, what I've learned from it is that I don't need that kind of people around me anymore. Like, this guy has been in the middle of a lot of drama in the law community, and I just thought that you're doing me a favor by telling me that you don't want to be my friend anymore and that you decided to block me. And in a way, you did me a good favor in a way. So life will be lifing. So, I already have so much on the table right now, so I don't want to focus on that. But even though it kind of hurt in a way to kind of have a friendship that just stopped for, reason that are kind of blurry. Like, he didn't even blame me for anything. He blamed me for stuff that I've said to other in front of their faces and that I've been talking to since. So it didn't make any sense unless you just like drama. And in that case scenario, then maybe it's for the best that we're not friends anymore. I don't know. But yeah, this thing happened and I wanted to talk about it like quickly. Now let's head to work. Well, I'm already at work, so let's wait for the first customer to arrive, and then we're gonna get to the course and back home. End of the day, finally. It's around 10 p.m. now. Heading home. The course, still don't know how to pronounce that name. I really have to ask someone to just tell me how to pronounce it. I ended up going to the Tenors. I got inside the room, and the chorus master was there, and he was like, do you go with the bass or do you want to go with the tenors? And I was like, I don't know. And he said, okay, tenors. Well, I guess I'm gonna be back with the mean girl. But it kind of was just so cool, because there were all of them this time. Like last week, there were only 2 guys who were there. This time, all the 4 were there. Well, including me. Well, we are 4 tenors, which with the bass was kind of fun because there were like 7. And it was kind of cool. The guy that I'm going to call Regina for today was there. And we were sitting next to each other, and he was like, oh, you definitely can catch the high notes of the tenors. And I was like, I think, no, it wasn't a question. Bitch, the fuck? I was like, just like, what the fuck? Anyway, it ended up pretty cool. He asked me if I'm going to get back there because next week is the holiday in France, so there is not going to be any repetition or rehearsal or whatever. But I said, yeah, and he told me that, okay, well, the guys, we're going to get and head up for a drink if you want to join. And I was like, oh, too sad, because it wasn't planned, and I really hate that kind of unexpected surprise, especially when I have like 2 train to get home late. because I don't have my driving license, so I'm depending on the train. But yeah, that happened. I'm officially on the Tenors, so I'm guessing that now it's cool. It's getting really dark. I really hope that I'm gonna be able to edit this video. Otherwise, I'm just gonna cut it and remove it from the vlog. So there's that. There's this that is officially done. I'm officially having a spot and I know where I belong. So that's just really amazing, and it's really a relief because it's really hard, at least in my opinion, to get to a place and have this feeling that you belong somewhere, you know, and having this kind of battle between the bass and the tenors was really kind of exhausting because I just felt like maybe I don't have my place in the group. Well, now I have my answer, so less negative thoughts and more positive thoughts. Everything's gonna be fine, and we're just on Monday. Tuesday, I did some 3D printing because we're gonna do the cabinet, coffee shop, library. I don't know yet what's the plan for the lantern that I'm gonna get tomorrow, hopefully. But I've made some 3D print. I've printed little demons because, well, Leo, the main character of the new story, is definitely gonna need some demon to fight. I'm not gonna spoil about the story that will happen. I think I did spoil on Instagram, but that's not the point here. I've also 3D printed a little demon skull because I thought that it will be a nice decoration for the little lantern dioramas, and a teapot that is inspired by Alice in Wonderland. I just love the universe, so I thought it will be a great idea to integrate that for the dio. And some of those little bowls, or I don't know what's the word in English, we call it bee in French, but that's kind of a little bowl. It is kind of translucent with this kind of greenish blue color to make a crystal ball, because I already have the base that I've made in 3D print and I've already painted. So I'm gonna glue that on top of the base and he's gonna be able to have a crystal ball. So that's also gonna be a part of the diorama. So that's for tomorrow, I'm guessing. I don't know if I'm gonna repaint it tonight or if I'm gonna wait for tomorrow. The demons are definitely gonna be wait because I want to have a little bit more of them. So that's not the main focus here. The main thing is to do the skull and the teapot. I'll see how it goes, and depending on the energy that I have tonight to focus on that specifically. We'll see, but at least there's that. I got it, so I can put it on the box that I've shared on Instagram with all the little miniature stuff and furniture that I'm gonna need for the diorama, and that's gonna be over. So yeah. Okay, so I'm currently a little bit mad. Say hi to the raccoon. Because I got those walls here and I've made out of clay, Fimo air stuff, and it's supposed to dry in 24 hours. Unfortunately, it only dried in the corner, but not in the middle. So I'm a little bit upset because I really wanted to have this project finished for someday. Unfortunately, I'm not sure it's going to be possible. We'll say Friday, so maybe it will dry this night or maybe until Sunday. Fingers crossed. But I really wanted this to be done for, well, Sunday, I guess. So basically, the idea now is to just watch a horror movie with some chocolate and just cry because I'm so mad. It's cracking. It's cracking. I don't know if you can see here and there as well. This week has been chaotic at so many levels that I kind of had to rethink the process of my content on YouTube, what I'm doing, and all that stuff. I've tried to use the air dry clay that didn't end up very well because I had to remove everything, and then I spray painted the lantern. Not to mention that there is also so many things that I had still have to add to the lantern to actually complete it. And this week was so full of pressure because of that. This and also the fact that I officially applied for the job that I want to get, and I have to kind of work on that. But anyways, the thing is that I was really focused on the lantern, and it got me so stressed because I was not able to end it for Sunday, and it's still not done. We're on Monday today, and it's still not done. There are still many things to do. But I've been trying to focus on this to make sure that I have content on my YouTube channel and all that stuff. And I'm thinking that I'm not sure it's really suitable at the moment with my schedule and everything that is on the table at the moment, knowing that I still have my degrees to, well, finish. I have now this job application that I have to work on, the weekly vlog that I have to record and do the montage and editing and all that stuff. And I think I kind of overestimated myself and that I'm not really able to do this much. And if I have to give up on something, it's probably going to be, and it's obviously going to be, the weekly vlog, which is why it's called the final season today. I will see if I get back on this later on, maybe, because I will have, if I get the job that I want, I will have more free times and maybe more project that I will be able to focus fully on it and not being split with 3 different stuff. So I'm thinking that for now, everything that I'm going to create, everything that I'm going to do for the repaint, the dioramas and all that stuff is still going to be recorded, but will be more focused on Instagram and on Reels and stuff like that. So I'm kind of moving back to Instagram and fully focus on that before heading back to the second season of the weekly vlog. So yeah, I will see you then on Instagram if you want to catch up. This is the account, Elias Toybox. Elias _ Toybox. Well, you got it here, so why be so aggressive? So yeah, this is I'd like to say goodbye, and I hope to see you soon. And as I said, we can still follow each other on Instagram, and I catch you up there, and you will be able to see the progress on the lantern as well. So it's a win-win situation, I guess. But yeah, hope to see you soon. Take care. Have a lovely weekend. Well, it's actually Monday, so have a lovely week, depending on when I'm going to post this vlog now. I don't know how to say goodbye. I should have wrote something down, but it's, as I said, I'm going to get back sooner or later because I'm going to miss YouTube. And as I said, we're going to be able to catch up on Instagram. So bye.